Today on the channel from Masters of the Universe Origins, we've got the Mattel Creations HeMan 40th Anniversary Celebration Pack.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Masters of the Universe Origins unboxing and review. And today we got something special as we got the 40th anniversary of the Masters of the Universe pack from mattelcreations.com. A 4-pack of Masters of the Universe figures here. But remember, for all your other He-Man needs, make sure you're hitting up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. But this set here is a Mattel Creations exclusive. As of right now, Mattel Creations is the only place you can pick up this 4-pack box set. And man, this thing did blow me away in hand. And we got to call a spade a spade. These are still up for sale as of filming at mattelcreations.com. You can pick this one up. It does have a hefty price point of $150 for the pack. That is a very hefty price point. We talked about this in my weekly purchases video a couple weeks ago, as I did feel, hey, there was a lot of meat here, but was there enough meat on the bone for $150? Well, there was for me. I picked up 2 of these packs. Can you believe that? I'm a wild man. But I really do feel that instead of $150, this should have really been $125 to $130 price point. However, that being said, we're going to dig into this. We're going to see some stuff we didn't know before going on, just pictures off of the website, things like that. So we're going to see if this justifies the $150 price point, but I can tell you right off the bat, this is very cool. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's do this review. Like we do all the other reviews on the channel, let's take a look at the packaging, let's talk about it, let's unbox it, let's talk about it, let's see where it goes from there. And much like Super 7 here, we do get a little cardboard case for the actual set, and this is what it does ship in. 40th anniversary, you got old He-Man representing on the front right there. A wild 40 years of He-Man, and old Kyle, he's been around there since the beginning. There's old 40th anniversary He-Man, same thing on the other side. And then you got 4 different incarnations of He-Man represented that are in this box set, represented on the outer shell right here. So there it is, off to the races, see you later. Now all this packaging I am going to keep together. This is very nice deluxe packaging, and that is part of the price of this. Is yes, the figures cost something, but the packaging definitely costs a lot and gets you to that $150 price point. So let's get this outer trunk shell. Now this is like a TV set, but it almost looks like kind of an ammo trunk of some kind. But it is supposed to be like a TV set. You see a nice lithograph. Is that what it's called? Lithograph? But it is some nice artwork, and we'll dive into that here in a little bit. But that is the front, looking like a TV screen. And then you get kind of a mechanical side. So it almost looks like a TV screen you would see, or a TV set maybe you would see in Castle Grayskull or something like that. I don't know. But very cool decorations there. 40th anniversary. On the back, it says right here, it says, I'm upside down. That's a mistake on my end here there. But there's 1982 to 2022. That is pretty cool. Masters of the Universe, things like that. But then you turn this TV up, and this slides right off the top as this whole TV comes off, so you get this. But I will say, this does come out. If I can get it, there you go. Now you could theoretically frame this. It's nice heavy-duty cardboard stock. Nice kind of graphics to it. You know, you can turn the colors, things like that. So this is a very cool thing. So you could frame this, hang this in your house, be some artwork, do whatever you want. And then you get the TV screen here like that as well. So once again, very cool packaging right there. I do really like that. You're going to stick that off to the side nice and gentle. But then look what you get right here. You get a little box set. So it's like a VHS box set of all the different incarnations of He-Man. And I think for this review, we'll go through each box. We'll go one by one. Then we'll grab the figures, go one by one, and then we'll unbox them from there. So this is going to be probably a longer video as we got 4 figures with very deluxe packaging here. But let's kick off with the OG He-Man, the one that started it all, the one that gave us the craze for He-Man, of course. It would be the original version of He-Man here. So we get this nice deluxe slipcase cover here. It looks like a book, I guess you would say, not VHS. I guess this is more book inspired. Either or, choose your own adventure. You get He-Man there, nice filmation look to him. It says MOTU guide, obviously Masters of the Universe. On the side, Masters of the Universe. This says, through the years, September 26, 1983 through November 21st, 1985, the series ran. That's the front there we talked about. Now the back is very cool. I'm going to set up this and I'll have it so you can pause it if you want. I'm not going to read through all of this here. but it's like a TV guide. It's like the old school TV guide you used to get back in the day, or it was in your newspaper, things like that. And it's very tongue-in-cheek here. You see different TV shows, but they're all Masters of the Universe inspired, and you're going to see that throughout this thing. But you get like Horde Empire, Tech Time, Man-at-Arms, and Roboto teach us at-home solutions for everyday problems. Here's one I like a lot. MOTWU Superstars, featuring the Booyaka Tribe versus the Horde World Order for the Tag Team Championship. So it gets just very tongue-in-cheek, and then you get the He-Man logo down below. Looks really, really good. I do like that a lot. Then we're going to slide this case out so you get the case, just a slip cover going on there. And then you get a very typical Origin style, Masters of the Universe style carding, but special carding. You get the special He-Man figure right there as well. Now this is very much like Sunman. I believe Triclops was the same way, with the back that slides right out, so you can just pull this right out and you're off to the races. So you can put this back in the package if you really want to, or you can leave it out, do whatever you want, choose your own adventure, as we always say. But you get He-Man on the back as well with that very classic He-Man carding. Looks absolutely amazing. I like this a whole lot, but I'm going to put that off to the side. We'll come back to that. Going to put this off to the side down here. And then we're going to go to the next incarnation of He-Man. He-Man through the years, September 1st through December 7, 1990, 65 episodes, 30 minutes, 1 of 4 collector covers. Honestly, and probably like a lot of people, my least favorite of He-Man. I was 9 years old or so when this came out, and it was not for me. It was not for me. As much as I loved He-Man, I just could not get into the new adventures. I ended up much later, watching all these episodes, and I said, why did I waste my time? So, gotta be honest, not a big fan of this one. I wasn't a fan of the toys, never picked up the toys, things like that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably in that same boat. But there he is, very He-Man 1990s inspired right there. And then on the back, we got the same type of thing going on. You got the TV shows, a very cool tongue-in-cheek thing through there. And we're going to slide this off. We're going to put this off to the side. It does come with a little wrapping paper to keep it nice and together. And it looks like we get the same backing stuff here. Yeah, it is the same, so FYI on that. But then you get He-Man. So it does look like New Adventures packaging. It's definitely that late 80s, I guess 1990 packaging artwork for He-Man. Almost a space theme. I guess it was a little bit of a space theme, as we all know. Just not for young Kyle, but this figure for old Kyle. Masters Universe Classics redid some of these as well, which are cool enough all these years later, and that's where I'm going to put this. And it's pivotal as part of the 4 generations of He-Man, whatever you want to call it. You have to have this. So everybody's going to have a least favorite. I would imagine this is going to be most people's least favorite edition. There he is on the back, of course. We're going to stick him off to the side right there. And then we're going off to the next one. And I've talked to you about the 2000X versions of He-Man. How it wasn't for me at first, but years later, I absolutely loved this series. So very cool here to get this in this line. Once again, packaging inspired. We know it. We love it. And on the back, we get different TV shows. So the other two are the same. This is different. I would assume this one matches up with this one. Let's see some of these. Let's grab some. Eternia's Most Wanted, Crime. Slime Pits and Recreation, a sitcom. There's a movie thriller, Snake Men on a Plane, King Hiss, starring King Hiss. Very interesting stuff. It's Always Sunny in Castle Grayskull. That's probably a good show. I'd watch that. Dragon Walker Z, a cartoon. Mightiest Mouse in the Universe. There's a lot of different stuff. Cringer's Cartoon Corner, Talking with Tila. So once again, much like the other ones, we get the slipcase cover comes off. And we're off to the races. Now, we just recently got a He-Man of this, so we'll have to do some comparisons in this very video here, but that's the very 2000X style packaging we got going on. And then on the back, he's got the power. Of course, you know he does. Looking good back there as well. So there it is. There's that one. Now we got one left. We got one left to do, and then there's the inside of the box. Gotta recommend to keep all this packaging, like I said. If you're a fool, I'm going to say it right now, if you throw away this packaging, you're a fool. It's great packaging on this. And I'm a guy that doesn't collect a lot of packaging, as you guys know. But there it is right there. And we got the new Adventures of HeMan. Now, this is the new Netflix series. Gotta say, we have action figures for those. I'm not a really big fan of that. Really not picking up any of those for the most part. For the most part. If you guys see weekly purchases, you know what I did pick up. But I haven't been able to get into the cartoon. I watched the first 3 episodes, tried to with my youngest daughter. She really wasn't digging it, and I wasn't really digging it that much as well. Maybe I'll try to rewatch it later, because some people do say it is really good. But it didn't grasp me in the first 3 episodes, at least. There it is on the side. You got the Netflix logo, all that kind of stuff. And on the back, we get that same tongue-in-cheek TV listings. It's weird. Is these... let me see here. I'm gonna check this out here. Is this different? It looks to be the same. No, this is different, but some of the same episodes, I guess. So the back, because it does have the sports entertainment once again, but it's a different, it's the same here, but it's a different lineup. So it's a little confusing, but we do have some things right here. We do got Rockin' Out music featuring Stone Dar and the Rock People. Power Hour with He-Man, the exercise. Zodak's Cosmic Odyssey. Simply Sorcery, variety hosted by Evelyn. Or, yeah, there you go. So very interesting stuff there. Once again, I'll pause it. You guys can pause the video if you want to check that out. And then we get the latest incarnation of He-Man right there in that packaging. So it definitely does fit the packaging style of the new Adventures of He-Man we're seeing off of Netflix. Looking good. And then there it is. You got the back of the package right there. So now I'm going to stick him off to the side. This will be the last one. I guess we probably should do these in order, don't you think? As far as the unboxings go, we'll start off with the old He-Man, most powerful man in the universe. We're just going to slide this out. So there it goes. It just slides out, and then you can slide it back in. That's how you should recommend to save it there. Very, very cool. I think a lot of toys would be good for this. This would be bad for resale market, though. Was it touched by other people? Is it truly mint? Has it truly not been unopened? Who knows? But we do have that there, so I'm going to stick that off to the side. And then we get old He-Man here, and this is an interesting take on He-Man, as we can see already. Pop all this stuff out. Definitely going to keep this. I'm going to stick that off to the side. And what is this? Just a little plastic pieces that came out, apparently. I don't know. So you get some extra plastic pieces with that. We're so lucky. Sticking that in the box so I don't get it mixed up here. But then we get old He-Man. And now there's a lot of reuse here. Of course there is. And I'm going to grab this right off the bat right now, as this is the Masters Universe Origins 2nd edition He-Man with the more familiar head from the toys back in the day. But we got a lot of familiarity, a lot of reuse between these two, and that just makes sense. But there is differences. The belt on here is different. It doesn't have the studs on it like this He-Man does. Obviously, the heads are totally different. You get the Filmation-inspired head sculpt there. I like that a lot. The vest is different. It doesn't have all the squares on it. The holder for the sword, totally different on the back. Hands are the same. The gauntlets on the wrist there, we got non-studded ones over here, studded on this one. You get the yellow highlights around the boots on this one. This one has plain boots throughout. Definitely a lot more different than I thought. The Iron Cross logo on the chest there, much bigger on here, smaller on there. This one comes with an axe. This one does not. The accessory with this one is, of course, wow, look at that. Look at that sword. Holy cow, it's vac metal. I guess I maybe forgot that already. I don't know, but it's a very beautiful vac metal sword. So extra cost in this, of course. I like that it is the full-on power sword. It's not the split half like we got with He-Man at the beginning. Of course, it will fit in the back there. Very, very nice. This is probably the star of the pack for me, at least. Probably because this was the He-Man I grew up with, of course. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. He fits like a glove on the old ringside stands right there. Looking really good with the other counterpart. Very cool. This is a lot different than I expected this one to be. I am happy about that. I think that is the way to go to market. Make them as different as you can to get people that say, oh, I don't need this pack, to make them want this pack. Because, honestly, I thought it was just different heads. I thought that was the only difference between these two. That is not the case, as you can see right here. So I like that a lot. I think there is a lot to like about that. So off to the races, one down. Let's go to the next one. And let's go to the old Galactic Protector He-Man. Like I said, not the biggest fan of this. It'll be interesting if this gets re-released out in the market down the line. Because we've seen, this He-Man is similar but different. Well, we get a similar but different with this one in the future. I guess we'll have to all stay tuned for that. Going to pull him out of the box, out of the package there. There it goes. Got more of these plastic strips here, so I'm going to stick these off to the side with this. Don't want to get these bubbles. Don't want to get any of this stuff mixed up, so I want to keep them all as separate as I possibly can. There it is. There's old He-Man, and we're off to the races, and we're going to do this traditional style. We're going to start with the accessories on this one. And my He-Man brain, I know the least about this series. Like I said, I watched it one time. That was it. Not going to happen again. But of course, you get his shield, you get his sword, and they are both vac metalized once again. So it's got a nice little shine to it. Definitely some gloss. You can see yourself in it. Extra cost with that. Now, that's one of the things. We talked about the price point of this pack being $150. Obviously, these are a little bit more expensive, and I didn't take this into account because I forgot they had vac metal, or I didn't know in the first place. So that does add cost to this. We also have to remember we're in inflation time, so it's very tough, not just in toys, but all things we purchase. We all remember the old prices, and it takes a while to get used to the new prices of things. and I think we're definitely seeing that with this pack as well. But very cool there off to the side. Then we get He-Man here in his 1990 glory. I guess we'll walk through the articulation of this one to save us from having to do it for all these guys. Now we get the traditional articulation here. Of course, the arms go all the way around. We do get single jointed elbows, hands back and forth. Hands are removable, but no extra hands in these packs. Head side to side, up and down, back and forth. Clean paint applications on these guys so far as well. I will point that out. The head back and forth, of course. Body's swappable between all the different figures, so if you need to mix and match for whatever reason, you can do that. Of course, you get waist articulation. He can do a decent stretch right there. You get the single jointed elbows, how about knees? And then you get the boot cut, and then ankles back and forth, up and down. So all the traditional articulation we are used to with these figures. And this guy looks good. He's got his little bandolier over the side here. Of course, you can put the sword in the back. He does have a holster there, so you can store everything on him if you need to. He's got the forearm gauntlets painted on. This time, though, they're in a little bit of a maroonish brown. Same thing with here. You get a little maroonish brownish colors. Then, of course, the blue pants he was known for in 1990. No more loincloth in space. It gets cold in space, as we know. And then we get the more space boots, I guess we'll call these for lack of a better term. So an interesting one. Got to say, though, got to be honest, he's not going to be my favorite one of the bunch by any means. Probably my least favorite. Well, I don't know. We'll see how that last animated series one goes. But an interesting one, an interesting turn in the Masters of the Universe saga was 1990. Didn't really work out for him so well, as we do know. So there it is. And one thing I would say is missing here is a little bit, we could have got a Dolph Lundgren version of the Origins. We know that's supposedly coming in the future, but would have been good as a part of this pack. Make it a 5-pack with him, because that is a big part of, if you're a kid of the 80s, your He-Man watching days was that movie. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of critics didn't like it, but if you were a little kid, you were all in. You were eating it with a fork and a spoon, that's for sure. Now we get He-Man again. We get the 2000X edition, Masters of the Universe He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Modern posing for retro play, 40th anniversary right there, looking good. And very cool packaging. Now, I've told the story numerous times about 2000X. I was in college when that came out. Didn't have the money to collect it. I admired it from afar. Didn't like the cartoon upon first watching, but then years later, I really did enjoy the cartoon. And I would not be opposed one day if I could find a complete collection for sale, loose, minty loose. I might pick it up. I might dabble. I might do it. We'll see if that ever happens. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. But there it is on the back. Very, very cool artwork with these ones. We're going to slide him off. And we're off to the races as well. Going to put this over here. There it is. Another plastic. I don't know what these plastic pieces are really for, but they're in there for whatever reason. How about a little plastic prison? There's old He-Man 2000X edition. And then we are locked in here, so we got to cut him out. So I guess you'll know if he's ever been out of the package, because he is one that's tied in at his legs, tied in at his arms as well. So make note of that if you must. I'm going to pull him out. And he's got the most accessories of anybody so far, and he's got all these twist ties dangling on him. So I'm going to have to pull all these off, put these off to the side. And we're off to the races. And there we go. But let's start it off with the accessories as usual with these guys. And boy, once again, we're vac metal. Big time vac metal. We got the old shield. Very cool. These feel very nice. They look very nice. Very, very cool. At the end of the day, very cool here. Looks really good. You got the red against that silver. Very, very shiny. This definitely adds cost. Like I said earlier, this adds cost. So does this feel $150 value? I was thinking 125 to 130. I might be up to about 135, 140 maybe. Do we hear it? It's right in there though, of course. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I guess a lot of people would say I don't need vac metal weapons, and I understand that as well. Then you get the old power sword, and then you get the battle axe. Very cool greens and reds on here. Just a very, very good looking weapons. I like these a lot. Look really, really good. Then we get down to He-Man himself, of course, and this is an interesting one. And this is one we've already had in the line. This is the last set we reviewed. We should be reviewing the new set here in the next week or so. But we get a different version of this He-Man. And once again, we get a lot of reuse, and this one is very similar. These two are very similar to each other, whereas the first edition He-Man had quite a few differences. Not so much on this one. We get the same head. The biggest difference in these figures is you got almost like a honey mustard color hairdo here, and you got a dark blonde hairdo on this one, I guess we'll say. But besides that, same head, same body, same arm gauntlets, same belt, same loincloth, same boots. You name it, it is all the same. Same weapons except vac metal. So not a lot of meat on the bone, not a lot of difference between these two guys, unfortunately. So I can see a few people being possibly disappointed on that one. But if you didn't have this, and maybe you skipped this one, this is another way to get this one without having to buy them at the store. I don't know. It's all about justification, as you guys know, at the end of the day. And you got to try to justify it to yourself, but a little bit of a weak link. I would have liked to seen this to be a little bit more different. Just give us a little bit of difference there. But I guess that wasn't in the cards here today. And there he is, old He-Man himself. Uh-oh. Can I stand him? Do you think I'd have a stand laying around here I could use? Oh, there's one. I always have stands around, but I'm running low. I need to refill my table, apparently. But there he is. He stands on a ringside stand. Very easily. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. I always get the clear WWE stands for my He-Man figures. That's what we're using right there. So now we're going to the last one. We're going to the Masters Universe. Power of Grayskull. He-Man in the Masters Universe. Netflix original series. 40th anniversary. Retro posing. Very, very cool. It's a very cool packaging. It's just, like I said, I didn't really strike a chord with me this series. And on the back, get that artwork from the series as well. I'm going to pop this bad boy out. There it is. We're losing all these plastic pieces everywhere. Very interesting. Uh-oh, almost knocked it off the table. And then you get the old plastic prison here, and he is locked in once again, so we're going to have to cut him free. And like so. And we're off to the races, maybe. There it is. There it is. All right. Put all that over to the side. Get the old twist tie off the arm. We're going to break down this newest version of He-Man here. Now, this is a heck of a power sword. This is super large. Way big here. Not a fan. I'm such a purist, I guess. I don't know. Not a big fan of this one. Maybe if I watch the series, maybe I'll grow to like this a little bit more. But once again, vac metal throughout. Nice handle to it. It looks like it has a plug for his back. So I'm throwing him. Yep, it does. Still got another twist tie on here. Let me pull that off. It does have a plug-in in the back, so you can plug this in instead of being sheathed into something. That's the way they do that. That makes sense. I have to imagine we are going to get a standalone release of this one of these days. We know the Masters, Masterverse, Revelations line, New Attorney line, whatever we're calling it now. They do have a version of this He-Man, so I do think Traditional Origins will get one of these as well, so I guess stay tuned for that. But it is, once again, same body style, but boy, you get that new CGI style head sculpt. So totally different, way different than any of these. It's interesting. That's the best I'm going to be able to do on it. This isn't my He-Man. This is new kids He-Man. And new kids, hopefully, 30 years, 40 years from now, hopefully they have a fondness for this He-Man just like I do for this He-Man. I don't begrudge anybody for liking this one or anything. It's just not my era. It's not my wheelhouse. It's not my nostalgia house for He-Man. But as far as this set goes, makes all sense in the world. We're building the He-Man universe over 40 years. You got to have a guy like this in here because, hey, this is the current day He-Man, I guess, as of right now. And we'll see if that does change. But it's interesting. He does have some yellow. It's almost like war paint on him. Like a Conan is what it looks like here. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or if that's just supposed to be cell shading for the animated series. Maybe that is the case there. But he does got very futuristic boots going on. Does, instead of a loincloth, has more of a Knights of the Round Table kind of thing going on there. Of course, he does have his He-Man vest that we all know and love. You can poke it in the back as well. Forearm guards. But besides that, it's really paint by numbers Origins. All these Origin figures, very similar as we do know. But all of them very cool in their own way. All special in their own way. That's really what it comes down to. We're going to put all these guys here, put them in order. Now, if I'm putting an order to this, I'm sure you guys know where I'm going here. Number 1 all day long. Number 2 all day long. Number 3 all day long. Number 4 all day long. Your mileage may vary. Maybe if I watch this series, he could very easily pass 1990 He-Man because 1990 He-Man was not very good either. But definitely there's no beating Filmation. And this one has really came on strong the last couple of years for me. A lot of nostalgia I didn't think I'd ever have for the 2000X series. But all in all, a very cool set. If you like all the bells and whistles, you love a good box set, you love special packaging, you love vac metal, you love your figures, there is a lot here. And I do think it is closer to a $150 price point, being worthy of that $150 price point than maybe a lot of people do think. Maybe I'm justifying it to myself, but I don't think I am. I understand how much it costs to get some of these packaging, the little lithograph action, the dual packaging, the slide-out packaging, the vac metal, these figures. all of that coming together, it's pretty close to a $150 price point. My gut, to me, it's $140, but an extra $10. I think we've all paid an extra $10 on something every once in a while. And this is definitely a set worth picking up because once it's gone forever, it's gone forever. It'll be interesting once it does finally sell out. Mattel Creations have to think it'll be in the next couple of weeks, you would think. I don't know. Maybe by Christmas, let's call it. That these will go up on the secondary market. That's just the way things go. And there's a lot of people that are being completionists of this line. And if you are, you don't want to miss out on this. That's what I would say. But that being said, we have a very similar version of this. We have a similar version of this. My gut does tell me we'll get versions in the regular Origins line of these guys. So once again, if you're not into packaging, you're not into all that kind of stuff, I can see you passing on this as well. So really, at the end of the day, you got to look yourself in the mirror, choose your own adventure. What do you want to do? It is your money after all, and that's what you got to do. But very interesting set. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Did you pick one up? Did you pass? Were you one of the guys that said, oh, this is not worth it? I mean, some people I saw online saying this should be an $80 pack, and I don't think I agree with that. But yeah, it is what it is. You got to justify it to yourself, like I keep saying. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on this pack here, and let me know if you picked it up, or if you passed on it, or if you're thinking about it, or if you think it was justified in the price. There's a lot of conversation topics on this at the end of the day. Don't forget to like this video. You made it this far. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and then some, as you guys know. Of course, check out the Patreon where you get videos like this much earlier than traditional YouTube. Bonus content, exclusive content, pizza reviews, dog pictures. There's a lot going on over at the Patreon. And best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And then also don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the Masters of the Universe and all 40 years of it, I'm Kyle. And I'll see you guys all real soon.